Episode 50, a milestone for this series, and I don't know if there's any better opponent for us as we play Montreal yet again. And I know in the past few episodes, mainly since I put up the poll video about picking our next series, that I've been a little bit hesitant to say for sure as to whether or not this is the last season of this series. I can confirm now that it is. I was hesitant because obviously there are still some guys who I'd like to see whether or not they progress and really continue to kind of dominate. Like Cholowski, wow, like this defense is insane. I'd love to see what we can do. And then you have the goaltending. Like, what will Shane Finger do? Will he reach like a 90 overall, for example? But now's the right time. And I knew this decision would be a bit difficult when we approached it because obviously it's never easy to really end a series, especially, you know, when you put so much time into it. But now is the time, and obviously with all the new roster changes, it's the best way to go. As for what we're doing in this episode, Hannu Herme, it was so close. Oh my god, was that vote close. But at the time that I last checked, it was like 52% Hannu Herme, 48% Shane Finger. Hannu Herme will get the chance. He will get the chance. He will start. Let's take a look at what we have to deal with, what we are going up against as we take on the Montreal Canadiens, who clearly are still led by Alex Galchenyuk. 92, 93, and 88 for their ratings. Let's get a look, though, at the rest of the team. Are we the favorites on paper is the question. Top line, Nikita Sherbak, who capped out at an 85 overalls with Galchenyuk, who's a 93, and Brendan Gallagher, and an 89 overall at 30 years old. Sorry for that. Trying to fight off this cough, not winning that battle. Arturi Lehkonen, also an 85 overall. Mikhail Grigorenko, an 87, and Andrew Shaw, an 85. That is their second line. Third line, Delarose, David Krejci. Oh, that hurts the soul. Oh my god. And Stefan Matteau, they make up the third line. So very well-rounded with, of course, two elite players so far in Galchenyuk and Gallagher. Can't look past Grigorenko either at an 87. The fourth line, Tyler Inglis, a second-round pick from 2018. He's an 82 overall. David Desharnais, who, of course, is still there, won't be in the new series. And Rainier Holzer. I'm guessing he's German. Thank God for that. Surprised he's not Japanese, knowing EA. But he is an 83 overall on the fourth line. Not bad. Pretty well-rounded team. Defensively, pretty good top line. Mikhail Sergachev with Brett Lernout. Brett Lernout. I know I pointed him out the last time that we played, but surprising. He is an 86 overall. Second pairing is Carl Alsner and Lucas Bengtsson. The third pairing, Alec Martinez and Jyrki Jokipaka. So it is a very well-rounded team at this point. Carey Price is still there, 35 years old and 88 overall, with Charlie Lindgren as the backup at an 86. No injured players. Paul Byron and Brady Gilmore are the scratches. This could be a tough series. I know Carey Price is 35 now, but that is a pretty decent defense. Obviously not the best defense we've ever seen on paper. You never know. I say that every series because it's the truth. You just never know how a playoff series is going to go. We found that out in the very first season of this series when we won the Stanley Cup, when it's looking like we were sellers at the deadline for the most part. So, I don't know. But anyway, in what could be the last episode of this series, I hope it's not, but it is time to get this series, this in-game series, underway. First period, Boston and Montreal. We're on home ice for game one. Let's do this. And that's a good start. Not great, but good. Schmaltz and Chmelevski with the opening goals. Lehkonen gets one back, but we have a 2-1 lead at the end of the opening 20. Not bad. And that scoring coming from the bottom six. That is a very good sign for us. Second period, can we get some insurance? Not necessarily. Alex Galchenyuk ties the game. David Pastrnak restores the lead. 25 shots to 13, but 3-2 on the scoreboard. Not great, but we do have the lead. Third period, we are going to need insurance. I guarantee it. I'd be shocked if Montreal don't score. Shea Theodore scores, and then 6 seconds later, Brendan Gallagher scores. 4-3. We are halfway through the third period. Oh my God, and Sherbak ties it. Herme, you're letting me down. You're letting me down. Are we going to overtime? Yes, we are. Wow. 4-all, 38 shots to 22. But we are going to overtime. Let's do this. OT, will it end early? We have a power play, and we can't do anything with it. 5 minutes deep now. And Stromwall gets the winner. Thank you. Malte Stromwall has been a key player in this series. Scores on Lindgren, so they either pulled Carey Price or he was injured. I'm hoping for the latter there. The 3 stars, all Habs, but they lose. And they lose 5-4 final. Not what I was expecting, to be honest. Not what I was expecting at all. And luckily for Hannu Herme, we were able to pick up the win there. If we didn't, we might have turned to Shane Finger. But Hannu Herme lives to see another day. He will start game 2. Let's hope it's not as exciting, we'll say. I'd like a nice, boring victory, please. That would be great. First period of game 2. And we are scoreless. All right, well, that was boring, so I'm getting what I asked for so far. Doubled them up in shots. Second period, and it's a goal apiece. Nikita Sherbak, oh my God. Apparently we should have traded for him. Alex DeBrincat, though, ties this game 1-all at the end of 40. Let's do this. Third period, Sagan, Patrick, anybody. Somebody from our amazing defense. DiPietro, you can score if you want to. Anybody. Halfway through the third, next goal will probably win this. We can't do anything on that power play. 4 minutes to go. Oh my God. Are we going to overtime again? Yes, we are. Let's do this. Overtime. Somebody, please. We have a power play. Please, please. Yes, there we go. Shea Theodore in overtime. 2 straight games to start this series. We go to overtime, and we walk away with the win in both. Carey Price, of course, was in goal in that game. Hannu Herme, your first star, with 27 saves. Shea Theodore, the second star, with the overtime winner. That is a pretty crazy way to start this series, but we're able to take advantage and defend home ice as we win both the games to start. But now we got to go to Montreal, and that's never fun. That is never fun. Game 3. If we win this, we are absolutely in control. Or can Montreal, with a Montreal win, they can make this an interesting series. Even more interesting than it's already been. First period of Game 3, and it's another goal apiece situation. Chmelevski and Gallagher. 2 guys who are not the strangers to the scoreboard at this time, to the score sheet. Second period, it's Inglis and Keller, and we are tied heading into the third period. Let's go. Tufte makes it 3-2. Not confident. That's why. Galchenyuk scores. Stromwall scores. This series is ridiculous. Can we please hold on to a lead? Stromwall, his goal holding up at the moment. 7 minutes to go. Oh my God. Can we shut the door? Hannu Herme, please. I beg you. And finally, oh my God, that was absurd. Tufte, Galchenyuk, Stromwall. And that ends up being the game winner. 4-3 final. We avoid going to OT, but we have the 3-0 series lead. Stromwall and Chmelevski both with a 3-point performance. And we are 1 game away. If we lose now, if we lose this series now, it would absolutely be the right time to stop with this series in general. If we blow a 3-0 series lead. The Providence Bruins, of course, in the playoffs, taking on the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. We'll keep an eye on that series, and actually, we're going to have to sim this first game anyway. I didn't mean to hit play game, but we can do that really quick. And that way, too, we can take a look at the result. What happened? And Lehigh Valley won the first game 2-1. All right, not a great start for the Providence Bruins, but the main team, the big bad Bruins, as it was, Sagan versus Krejci on a face-off. That's so weird, given the circumstances. Game 4. Can we sweep Montreal in our last playoff series against them? Please. First period, and it's another goal apiece. Schmaltz, our bottom six have really been contributing. Arturi Lehkonen gets a goal back. Their top six has been great. Lehkonen and frickin' Sherback, the top two left wings for them, have been amazing. Second period, can anybody grab the lead? Yes, to answer my own question, yes, apparently they can. Nolan Patrick, Sjogren, and Clayton Keller, 4-1. 4-1 Boston. Third period, let's go. Tyler Seguin makes it 5-1 on the power play. We don't need to win the cup. We don't need to. It's Christmas already. It's Christmas already. This is Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and Festivus all rolled up into one, packed with a nice bow on top. The Bruins have swept the Habs. Oh, happy day. I could end the series right now. We don't need to win the cup. That's it. We're good. We don't even need to play another episode. A 4-assist night for Jeremy Waugh. 2 points for Keller. 23 saves for Hannu Herme, who overcomes a bit of a scare in game 1, but in the end, he shuts the door. We are moving on to the second round. See you later, Montreal. You got the better of us, I think, once in this series, and yeah, that's really all you were ever going to get, wasn't it? Now we get to focus on the Providence Bruins, who are one game away from being eliminated, and they are out. So, man, they return to the playoffs. And I'll just set scouting for 6 weeks because it's irrelevant. The Providence Bruins return to the playoffs. They fall just short. And in the second round, no need for any bullshit hype. We play the Ottawa Senators, who went to 7 games in their first round matchup against, I believe, the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I mean, Ottawa, our closest competition throughout the entire, and actually, yeah, they did beat Tampa in 7. They were pretty much our closest competition throughout the entire season. Carolina beat Florida in 5. Pittsburgh beat Washington in 7. Over in the West, Colorado beat St. Louis in 6. Chicago over Winnipeg in 6. Anaheim over Vancouver in 5. Arizona over Nashville in 5. So it's another matchup we've played, and obviously that's going to happen with the playoff structure. You're going to see the same teams pretty much most of the time, unless you're finishing in wild card spots, in which case you might play a Metro team in the first round. But with as dominant as we have been throughout this series within our division, it's no surprise that we're taking on Ottawa again. Leading scorers, 3 players with 5 points, Pasternak, Waugh, and Chmelevski. Unbelievable to see him doing that well. He has turned into one hell of a player for us. And as I always say, it might be a good thing that we have certain players struggling, because if they turn it on, how is anybody going to beat us? Montreal had no answer, and Cholowski only had 2 points. Patrick, DeBrincat. I mean, we had some pretty good scoring depth throughout, but there are certain players that could step up and make us an even better team. Hannu Herme with a .914 save percentage. He hasn't completely locked up that starting job. If we were to fall down 2-0 against the Ottawa Senators, Shane Finger will absolutely get a chance. So he needs to have a very strong start to that second round matchup. The Bruins, though, live to fight another day. This series lives to fight another day, as we are not done just yet. Can this team continue to dominate? Can this team get it done? Will we end this series on a high note with yet another Stanley Cup? Or will the Ottawa Senators play spoiler and ruin that perfect ending? We will find out in the next episode. As always, I hope you guys did enjoy this one. If you did, support the video, support the channel, and support me in any way that you deem necessary. And I will see you guys in the next one. Ottawa and Boston yet again. Nobody's shedding a tear from Montreal, though. They're gone. They're out. They're done. Oh, that was fantastic. That was fantastic.